Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry that my PowerPoint is a little different from the one in the computer, so maybe you can just listen to me talk and from time to time turn over the pages. Thank you. Okay, so this PowerPoint contains about the facilities and my lesson plans and some of my preparations of this for the project. And I want to begin with the facility that I use because I think this kind of screen is actually a touch screen and it's high definition. It's kind of commercial time, but I really think it's very important because the visual and audio effect is very good. So it makes students feel like you really are talking to Hannah in person. So I think it's very important for them to communicate. And it's not very clear, but you can see the camera that I set is from in a higher place because I want Hannah to see all the students. Originally, I put the camera just about this height, and then I found the students get distracted very easily because Hannah can see all of them, so they just have nothing to do. So then I found this display. This is a better angle. And also, I have the students sit in a U shape because in this way, I think it's a satisfying distance between all the students and the teachers, so they can pay attention to the teachers very easily. And my students for the project is the fourth graders. I think they are at the early speech or early production speech stage. So they can speak a few words, but not very complete sentences, and sometimes they have many errors on it. So I conducted the project in the regular English classes. So let me show them some of my students. Okay, nice to meet you. Bye-bye. Okay. My name is Peter, how old are you? I am 11. Oh, what do you like, Peter? I like dogs. Oh, you like dogs? Good, Peter. Hi. Okay. I am Mina. I'm Sammy. How old are you, Mina? I am 11. Oh, what do you like, Mina? What do you like? Like? I like dogs. Oh, you like dogs. I like birds. So, bye, Mina. So they still have some difficulties about some special words like, and they secretly ask me like this. And the first girl, her English level is much higher, I think, and some of them, and the boys, Peter and Mina, are in the middle. And the last one is Brian. Okay.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Brian.
How old are you, Brian?
How old are you, Brian?
I'm 9.
I'm 9.
Oh, what do you like, Brian?
How do you like, Brian?
You like fish, dog, cat, 还是其他动物？
Fish.
I like.
I like fish.
Good. Oh, okay. Brian, bye bye.
Bye.
It's very over. It's very happy to be over. Yeah. So
Hello, I am it. My name is Vivian.
So you can see sometimes I'm pressed for time, so I have to use English. I can say I use the Chinese translation to help students. But I think actually I can use some like a body language and gesture to help him understand what I'm talking about. So here they have even English proficiency levels and also different motives. So I want them to have the better motivation to be willing to talk to Hannah. And okay, so later on, here's my goal for this project. I want to create an authentic context, because I think it's very important. If I am the only teacher at the stage, it's very natural for students to think I don't have to use English all the time. But with Hannah here, it's different. Hannah and me can communicate with me, and the student will think, oh, they really are having English, they really are speaking English. So I think it's very essential way for them to speak. And but I can't take students to the airport, to the restaurant all the time. So usually I use a small object like the real things, real food. And coincidentally, we have covered the topics about food this semester. So food is a very strong incentive for students. So we can draw their attention very easily. So here's my examples.
Yes, you're having dinner, right?
Yeah, I am. Yes, I'm so hungry. This is a hot dog. Yeah. Good job, hot dog.
I think we found a dialogue to help them to enter the dialogue.
One more time.
Practice.
Ah, here you are. Good job.
Yes, yeah. So I want to create a context and situation for them to naturally speak, but not very difficult English, just simple sentences and words. And there is a strategy that I also learned in Western Washington University, and it's part of the GAP strategy. It's called pictorial input chart. It's like this. And Hannah is holding a piece of black paper, and she starts with drawing a moon. And when she's drawing, she also says the moon, and students will stay with her. And one object by one object, we get the whole picture. So in this way, we don't have to translate all the time. And the student will have a general idea about what the moon festival is, instead of just the moon and the fireworks and the pomelos. Okay. And I think my students, they are just bigger than, although they are first graders, but actually they are still very young. So I have to make them move from time to time, or they get bored, they stop, find something else to do. So these are the essential activities that we usually do in our classes. students can hit the target. Yeah, so sometimes you don't have to translate because student will say Chinese for you. And it's a common guessing game.
Is it juice? Yeah, juice.
So I think it's very interesting that I coincidentally found out that students can do some gestures and Hannah have to guess what the vocabulary is. It's the other way around and students love it. And let's start again. Yeah, and it's just like the listening comprehension. And Hannah says something, and students have to get that thing quickly. And the last one is my partner Shannon talked about when we are competing with another school, they get very competitive. So. So I focus also on the oral practice because I want them to have more chances to speak. And the sentence pattern I use is usually very controlled and repetitive because the student can follow this kind of pattern very easily. So I think it's a very good book, and Catherine also used this book. The very hungry caterpillar. You can see it's repetitive sentence pattern. I'm hungry, I want 5 oranges. Let's see this one. Excuse me, let me find the video.
Good job. 5 oranges. Okay, so
Not this one also. So you can see students can use I want this kind of sentence pattern. It's more familiar to them. And I want to introduce to you this kind of activities called freeze frame. Can you raise your hand if you have heard this kind of activity? Thank you. Yeah, it's like when somebody are doing some acting and Hannah or me just abruptly says freeze, okay, and students have to stop what they are acting, what they are doing, and somebody will hold in a bubble, and the actors have to speak out their lines. Let me show you. because it's recorded from the Hannah's end, so no, the microphone can't absorb the sound from our end, so you can't hear what students talking about. But actually, one student is speaking out like, "I'm hungry. I want blah 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 apples," like this. Yeah. So I think for oral practice, freeze-frame is a good exercise. You don't have to use too many teaching aids, or you have just a dialogue and one speech bubble. And students love the speech bubble. It's fun. And after all this, I want to talk about my challenges. As you can see, my challenges including the technical issue. When something like this happens, I will feel very panicked because nobody helps me. So I think I have to be very flexible when something like this happens, and I have to think about a plan B or backup plan. And the challenges at first I encountered is classroom management. I remember there's one time the student just kept talking and very noisy, and I have to stop the class and tell them something about discipline and behaving themselves in Chinese. And I think Hannah is a little shocked by me. Sorry. Yeah. So, but later I found I have to use more time before the class starts, and from time to time we have more classes, and they know how to behave and how to do in this class. So they know how to behave themselves. Like I said, the U-shaped sitting helps a lot. The students can see you are looking at him or her. Okay, and too much translation or explanation. And I think many Chinese teachers encounter this kind of problem too. And I think the repetition of what you are going to speaking about and your body language or some teaching aids helps a lot when you are going to explain something very difficult. Thank you. And the kids' improvement, I think the competence and motivation is not easy to see, but actually they are communicated, but they didn't notice. And the accent is something I found very interesting, because if you remember the boy Brian, you can hear some Taiwanese accent in his speech. But later I found him speaking the word hot dog, and I'm surprised because I heard Hannah's accent in his, and I thought, oh, he's very good. Yeah. Okay.
What do you want? I want the hot dog. I want the hot dog and juice.
Hot dog and juice. Okay.
I want some few cookies.
I want two cookies.
I want some cookies.
Hey. He's very cute. And this time, I think you don't have to say 你不能说 some 跟 two 在一起, but you just have to repeat. You want some cookies, you have two cookies, then he understands. Oh, just choose one adjective is enough. And my reflection, the first part is the creation of your classroom. Here's the pictures that I found in the school and the library visit in the US. So it's a very good copy. I think you can put it in the reading or playing corner. And here's the grouping technique. Like a group A and group red and group yellow and group green. And here's the categorizing basket. If you put something with a letter A and letter on it, and the student will all have the idea, yeah, that thing starts with the letter I. Okay, and here's the posters. And my reflection here is, I want to just say this one, use English as much as possible, because sometimes I feel in a little, sorry, embarrassed and a little reluctant to speak English because it's very weird. Like Taiwan, it's not an English-speaking country, so it's not just comfortable for me to speak. But if I think this way all the time, I'm not crying. I just have a sore throat. Yeah, but I think if I keep thinking this way, then students will think this way too. So no matter how bad I speak, I just have to speak up. And students will know, oh, that's communication. You make more errors, that's okay. Like the video, the little boy, he says, I want to hot dog. But I didn't correct him in the, you have to say hot dogs because Professor Magma Hill says, you focus on the fluency instead of correction. Okay, so I want to share with you that use English as much as possible. Thank you.